Blessings, beings! It is an honor to have your attention and connect with you once again. Thank you for tuning in. I'm super stoked on the topic of this video. It's something that I've been talking about for quite some time now, and that is the fifth dimension. Now, when I usually post about the fifth dimension on my social media channels, or I just talk about it in general, I get a lot of really positive feedback, people saying like, yes, I feel the shift, that's what it is, that all makes sense. And it's usually very resonant with people that I'm mentioning it to or sharing it with. However, I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are like, what the fuck is the fifth dimension? And even for those who do know what the fifth dimension is, I wanted to make this video to just supply a little bit more informational support behind what we are experiencing and just kind of like explain it a little bit more thoroughly. So to start out, I want to explain what dimensions are. Dimensions are basically different levels of reality. Now when we think of levels, we usually think of like lower levels and higher levels, lower levels being bad, higher levels being good. That does not exist in the higher dimensions. There's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong, there's no duality just in general. There's no duality in the fifth dimension, which I'll get to. And that's the whole thing about this, is that there's not one good way to be and then there's not one bad way to be. There's just different levels of consciousness. So when I say levels, it doesn't mean higher levels as in better, and it doesn't mean lower as in worse. It just means different levels. Everything simply just is. So in the third dimension, 3D is currently what we are experiencing on Earth, though many are starting to experience 5D on Earth. But naturally, Earth exists in the dimension of 3D. Now that is the dimension of density. Things are very dense on Earth. It is the dimension of illusion, where we aren't seeing things clearly, we aren't seeing things properly. We can't see energy in 3D. We can see motions, like when we're moving our hands and we're doing things, you can see me in motion, but you can't see my emotion. You can't actually see the energy that is emitting from my body even right now. Maybe you can if you're sensitive and you're one of these people who are already integrating into the fifth dimension, but for the most part, 3D does not allow us to see things properly. That's why we are born with two eyes. It's duality. We're seeing two different ways as opposed to through our third eye, which is the all-seeing eye, and that is the one eye. That is the eye of Horus. That is the eye of all, where we can see things clearly, and it's not through sight, but it's through knowing. It's like a cognitive seeing. So Earth exists in 3D, and we're currently moving and shifting out of this dimension. Now, the dimension above that, which again doesn't mean that it's better or worse, because actually it could be considered worse, and that's the astral realm. 4D is the dimension of dreams, and that's actually where we go in our sleep state, and that is the last dimension of death, where if you notice when you're dreaming, you are experiencing highs and you're flying and things are amazing, and if you're able to lucid dream, you can create these incredible experiences for yourself. Or you're jumping off a cliff, falling off a cliff, driving off a cliff, you're dying, you're falling, you're being chased, you're being murdered, you're killing, whatever it is. It's the ultimate realm of duality. So 4D is duality, and again, it's the last realm of death. So it's the dimension of higher consciousness in the sense where you exist in it without your physical being, but it is not the realm of oneness, it's the realm of duality. So above 4D, we have 5D, and that is the fifth dimension. That is the dimension of oneness. It is the dimension of love, of true unconditional love. It is the dimension of integrity. Nothing hides in the fifth dimension. Everything is known, everything is seen. There is no duality in the fifth dimension. There isn't any ego. Ego is actually integrated properly into our beings in the fifth dimension, so it's not like the ego is a dual part of us, it's actually something that is a tool for us that we use to help us express ourselves better. So there's no duality in the ego, there's no duality in the being. We're also telepathic in the fifth dimension and able to see energy and able to see emotion and able to feel emotion and feel things more tangibly that we're not able to even see in the third dimension. And so basically why this is happening is because we are experiencing a major shift. We are literally experiencing a shift in higher consciousness. 5D is a physical reality that is created by our consciousness. So in order for us to integrate into the fifth dimension, it's important that we do all of our work here in 3D in ourselves in order to even attune ourselves to the vibration of the fifth dimension. 5D literally exists as a vibration that is much more rapid and potent than the dense vibration that we're experiencing here in 3D. And there is a lot of work that needs to be done within ourselves in order to even reach or experience the 5D. So currently we're at a time where a lot of people are reaching rock bottom, where our politics and the government, all of the lies, all of the illusion that has been going on for so long in our governments and with our people of power are now coming to surface. And that is a process, that takes time. So we're in that process currently. A lot of people like lightworkers and people who actually came back to this planet and reincarnated in order to kind of take the stance and lead the way, myself being one of them, I didn't necessarily choose to be like this in this life. It really just came to me, and multiple times I was guided and led and basically told that I'm going to be sharing this information. I mean, it may not make sense or even resonate with some people, but that's totally fine because it will make sense pretty soon, and the seeds have been planted, they're culminating, and harvest is coming. So all of this information is going to eventually be very apparent in our lives, all of the shifts and the changes that are taking place within ourselves as well as in our environment is going to become very apparent, and it is going to be the only reality that we are experiencing pretty soon. So basically I'm just trying to provide you guys the tools and the resources and the understanding of what is happening so that you can make this shift more effortlessly. So I wanted to share with you guys a few tips and tricks that you can actually implement into your daily life that can make this transition into a higher awareness, a higher consciousness, more easy. Because we are actually moving out of the time where we had to endure suffering and pain in order to learn things, in order to comprehend things, and in order to change things. We're no longer in that paradigm anymore, so suffering is truly a choice. If you are choosing to suffer, you are suffering for as long as you feel like you need to suffer until you can extract the lesson and the message from whatever it is that you're experiencing and then apply it to your life. So if you want to decide right now that you don't want to suffer anymore and that's not how you receive your understanding, then you can really just start to absorb information and listen more clearly throughout your life. The universe is in constant communication to us and we're constantly receiving messages from the universe. If you just start to really take time to be present, to breathe in your moment and listen, then all of the answers will be communicated to you. Because the answers already are being communicated to you, we just simply have to listen. You need to start taking full responsibility for yourself. The things that you're doing to yourself, the actions that you're making, the things that you are thinking, the things that you are consuming. There's no more autopilot. We need to get out of this zombie mode where we're just going through our day as routine, doing this and doing this and doing this, and not really being fully present as to what we are experiencing and what we are doing. We need to bring presence back to every moment. So be fully aware of what you're eating. What are you consuming? What are you putting inside of your body to become your body? What nutrients are you providing your body with to help your organs function properly? Are you putting something in your body that your system is going to have a freak out about and be oh shit, we received some chemicals, some poison, quick, get it out, get it out, get it out? Is that what you're using the energy inside of your body for? Or are you providing your body with nutrients that can actually assist the process of functioning that helps your organs to work better. Like, it really is simple. It's as simple as that. Earth nutrients provide your body energy. Live foods are good for your body. They help your body to feel alive. Meat, unfortunately, is dead carcass that contains karma from its life. If you are ingesting death, then you are most likely going to feel like death. Also, meat is extremely dense. As we work into the 5th dimension, our body actually is no longer able to process the density. As we start to eat meat, we feel heavy, we get the itis. Like, the itis is not normal. You should not be feeling lazy after you eat food. You actually should be feeling vibrant and fueled and ready to go. Like, when you put gas into a car, you feel like it kind of like drives smoother. It drives nicer, drives faster, has more power. Same thing with your vehicle that you're experiencing. When you provide it with nutrients that are like gas and gonna help you go, then it's better. Like, think if you were putting soda into a car, like, it would definitely like make it not function as properly, if not like break the whole thing in general. And that's also something, as we are experiencing the process of this shift, we're actually becoming a lot more sensitive. So I've noticed that I actually cannot eat shit. Like, I cannot eat any treat, even if it's like a vegan treat. If it has like refined sugar or any gluten even, my body can no longer handle it. Where I used to not be so sensitive and I could just like poo it out and be like, okay, I just probably shouldn't do that again. But now my body is so sensitive, I can actually feel it being like upset with that action of ingesting it. And if you think about like the simplicity of ingesting something, like, you have it in your hand, you put it in your mouth, you taste it for a bit, and then you swallow it and it becomes your body. We need to be able to alter our ability to receive and what we are identifying as enjoyable, because if you think that it's enjoyable to just like eat something that tastes good for just a moment but then is poisoning your body, then that's probably an issue that is embedded within you in a deeper way, like probably emotionally, and that is definitely something that you should work out, because your body wants nutrients and your body is craving nutrients and it's asking for nutrients. So we need to just start like linking our different selves so that they are working in conjunction with each other. Also important to be aware of what you are consuming in your environment. Are you in an area that is actually supporting your ascension and is supporting your happiness and reminding you to be more positive and reminding you of like the bliss and the miracles and the magic and the gifts that life continues to provide for you? Like, experiencing life is a straight up gift. It is a blessing. We should literally be acting in gratitude in every single moment. And we should be acting in gratitude to our bodies too. Like, I am so grateful to have this vessel and this body that has gotten me through everything that I've gotten through. Like, I've been through some crazy shit and my body has always been there for me and it hasn't broken down, and it's continuing to provide me the ability to do what I want to do and to express how I want to express. So I literally make every action and everything that I surround myself with and ingest and consume a gift for my body in gratitude for it just simply being. So be aware of the energies that you are merging into your own energy as well, like sexual energy. There's no more like having sex with random people who are wounded and unhealed and hold a lot of density, because you are then absorbing that vibration. You're literally receiving it into your body. So just be more aware of who you're connecting with in general. Even toxic family members and toxic friends. There's going to be a significant shedding that you experience as you go through this process. So be aware of this and be okay with this and honor yourself. If you have to cut people from your life, do so, but also be vocal with it. Activate that throat chakra. That's also something that's really important in this process. Speak your truth authentically and clearly, and take time to do so. If you're experiencing a scenario where you need to cut someone out of your life, take time to really think of why that is and fully, authentically, genuinely, from the heart space, present that information to them. Let them know why. Like, I noticed that you have a lot of really negative habits that encourage my negative habits, and it's actually extremely toxic for me. So I'm going to have to take my space from you just to honor myself. Because even just telling them that's like a red flag for them, like, whoa, someone that I'm usually around or someone that I love is saying that they can't be around me because of my energy or because of my habits or because of the things that I'm saying or the things that I'm doing. Like, that is straight up an activation for them as well. So you're not only honoring your truth and like signaling to the universe, hey, I'm standing in my truth, hey, I'm speaking in my truth. Feel free to, gift me with some blessings and continue to give me things that are aligned with the vibration that I'm deciding to hold. But it also gives the person that you're talking to and shedding from and cutting from the opportunity to grow as well. In 5D, nothing hides. The truth is out, and the truth heals. The truth transforms. It is necessary. And be fully open to checking all aspects of yourself. When you are acting in a way that you notice is out of integrity or out of alignment with your true being, call yourself out on it and be okay with calling yourself out. Know that you are undergoing a process of ascension. So you're going to notice that like you had some bad habits that weren't supporting your best self. Call them out. Literally just like acknowledging where the ego comes through in situations or conversations, acknowledging it is key because that brings it to the light. And when something is brought to the light, brought to the surface, it allows it to be worked through. So if you say something and you're like, yeah, because I'm the best, and you like realize like, whoa, that was kind of like a weird energy and that actually wasn't coming from my heart space because there is no better or worse. That was coming from my ego. Feel comfortable enough in your own being and in your transformational process to actually say, you know what? I actually want to take back what I just said. It's not that I am the best. It's that I feel that I'm fully capable of doing this. And it's really just like learning to understand and translate what you're saying more properly. Again, from the heart space, from your true self. And know that the ego is conditioned from your environment. It's actually not who you really are. It's conditioned from the media and from the news and from our environments and from other people who also have conditioned ego as well. So don't get offended by it. Don't feel bad. Don't be embarrassed by it. It really is conditioning, and acknowledging it and speaking out about your own personal ego is literally liberating to your soul. Honor your soul. And really just start taking responsibility for the life that you're creating. Everything that we experience, we called in. It is literally a reaction to either something that we have done or thought or felt. And it is something to provide us a lesson and understanding. So don't get so emotionally attached and identify to the problems that you're experiencing and to your issues, because they are really only temporary and they're going to be there for as long as you feed them the energy to stay there. If you take a step back and you observe from the outside perspective, then you don't identify with them and you can properly understand what you want to take from the situation and what you want to clear from the situation or from your habits or from your thinking patterns or from your emotions. Taking responsibility is sexy as One last thing that's also really important in integrating into the fifth dimension and overall just ascending your being in general is to get active. Move your body. You can do this by taking a walk out in nature or by exercising or lifting weights or doing yoga. Something that I found is really efficient and effective for me and many other people that I know is dancing. Putting on some music and just moving your body. And I'm not talking about the kind of dancing where it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that could be effective too if that's how you like feel called to move your body, but I'm talking about the kind of dancing where you allow the music to permeate your body fully, you feel the vibrations of the music, it creates emotion in your body, and then you allow your body to move how it wants to move. And you feel good in your body, and you get comfortable and familiar with the vehicle that you are literally taking everywhere with you, that is with you through all of your experiences. Like, this is your vehicle, this is your universe. Enjoy it, express through it as you want to express through it, and fully feel it. Like, let's just get familiar with ourselves, familiar with our emotions, familiar with our being, familiar with who we truly are. Not what society or our external environment is trying to condition us to be like, but the person who our soul is singing to us to be. It is time we start standing in our power and we start expressing ourselves authentically. Use your feelings as an indication as to what is right with you. Before just doing something or saying something, take a step back, stop rushing. Take a breath and feel, is this really resonant with me? Does it feel in my highest self to do this or to say this or to go along with this? It really is simple once you think about it, but it's snapping out of the 3D illusion. It's snapping out of the autopilot mode and coming into true authenticity and awareness of self. So yes, thank you all for watching. If you are still watching, then you are truly a light worker, and there is a reason why you are downloading all of these skills and tools that I am casually channeling through this screen right now. You are receiving the codes. The seeds have been planted in your subconscious. Even if some of this was unfamiliar to you, trust that it will start to make sense and things will start to align in your life. You just simply need to pay attention. So thank you. I love you. I truly love you. I see you as your highest self, and I'm grateful to be able to experience this timeline with you and walk into 5D with you. Thank you for doing the work. Namaste.